The Jim and Terry Show with Jim doing his best to imitate alien sounds. Sounds foreign to me. Are aliens foreigners? They are. Maybe they speak the same language. Maybe that language is digital, binary, zeros and ones. Who knows?
Who knows anything, man? There's a whole lot of activity concerning aliens.
You seem to know a lot more about the stuff, the activity than I do. So what's come on your radar?
Well, there's another whistleblower that came forward. He, a highly apparently recognized official, special op and everything else with the American government's come forward and said flat out, there's all kinds of ships.
Now, for ones and twos, do you have a source of this information that you can share? Where did you hear all this?
Oh, I heard it on CNN. I heard it on just your regular YouTube. My sons brought it up and sent me something because they know I'm interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not interested to the point of fanaticism, not at all.
Right.
I just am
You're
curious.
not a fanatic in the least.
I'm just curious about things that everybody should be curious about. No. And anyway, so
no judgment, Jim.
A new whistleblower came up. I don't know. I looked at him with one eye closed. I went, I don't know, because they.
Yeah, how is? I think
but they do.
Your kids raised this one in a podcast. How is he still walking the streets?
Well, apparently, I watched something else. I don't know if it was on mainstream TV or something else. I can't remember now because it's all over the place. And they said that any whistleblower in this area their lives are ruined, completely ruined. There's no joy in it. It's ruined forever. And I guess they make money
because you pointed out that there are really
real things there. Now, I don't know if the guy just wants to get on if he's nuts or if he wants to get on why is he a whistleblower? Did he get let go because he's crazy? I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, let's get into the specifics of his claim if we're both talking about the same episode that we watched, and I'll put...
did you see it?
Yeah, this is one of those rare things. I'll put a link in the description. And it was a documentary that was assembled by... the only thing I knew about this news station was that it was Chris Cuomo's now employed from CNN.
What's it called? News Nation?
News Nation.
News
That's
Nation,
right. So that's where the document... I was just going to search that up.
But I did see it on CNN, by the way.
Okay, I didn't. I watched it from that documentary.
But it wasn't much. And every time CNN does something, they really fluff it off.
Yeah.
Like I saw an orb that they showed. NASA released this orb over Afghanistan. Did you see that?
No.
It was about 15 seconds of this perfectly round ball flying through the air, and it was obviously taken either from an American satellite or a spy plane.
Right.
And NASA released it. Well, number one, why did they release it?
Yes.
So number two, right away, and this was CNN, and they went to an expert sitting across the table like you and I are, who was a scientist. And the scientist said, well, we have to have facts. We can't just, because the question was, is this an extraterrestrial?
Well,
and he goes, can't tell, it could be a balloon. And I'm thinking, well, number one, I can't see NASA releasing it, and they officially released it. I'm sure their experts would say this is not a balloon, And the other thing with science isn't exact. You guys can give yourself a break, because right now the James Webb spacecraft telescope is proving a lot of your things wrong. So you can be wrong. That's fine, But anyways, that's all it was, and it was literally 1 minute of this show, and it was over and done.
Well, part of the documentary that interested me was that this guy was claiming that the U.S. is in possession of a number of UFOs.
Out of this
ships.
world.
Yes,
UFOs.
a number, and they use the word UAP as well.
Yeah. But they didn't say unidentified aerial phenomena. They said something unidentified apparatus or something. What did they say?
I think
they just messed up.
They messed up at that occasion, but if you followed the podcast or the documentary, the reporter did mention the organization which contained that word, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I can't. It was a weird word.
Anyway, so actual craft, and including one from, and I'm going to get the country wrong, I'm going to say somewhere in Europe. One crashed in before Roswell, and they got it.
Really?
Yes. You got to go back and watch the documentary. Anyway,
I didn't see the documentary you're talking about. I just saw the guy being interviewed.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the documentary, this special program on News Nation. Anyway, the whole thing for me was it's all unsubstantiated. This guy is a whistleblower, but that doesn't mean anything without evidence.
And I think
so. He has no evidence.
I handed this into the Pentagon, and the Pentagon says, no, he didn't.
Yes.
So there you are.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I'm in the same position. I looked at him and went, number one, he's kind of calm. It was like there was that it was probably a falling star or something, and the guy said, "There's an alien in my backyard," and he's going, "Oh, there's an 8 foot, 12, maybe 12-foot alien in my backyard. It's got big eyes. It's got big." Terry, is that how you and me talk? It'd be, Martha, get that friggin' gun!
That's right.
Call 911! Somebody there! And as James said, take a picture of it.
Yes. Turn your camera. You're on the phone. Use your phone to take a picture.
Yeah, so they were a little too calm for me. Like, if I'm sorry, I'm kind of into this thing, and I'm not as cowardly as I look, but I'd be scared if a 10-foot, big-eyed, friggin' praying mantis was in your backyard looking at me. I would run, I think. I think I would run. I think I would run.
Panic would have struck.
Yeah, it wouldn't be, hello, 911, how are you today? Oh, I'm fine. Well, I just wanted to call. There's an alien in the backyard.
Have you ever been so afraid of something that you couldn't move, even in a dream where you're immobilized, you can't?
Probably.
So wouldn't that kind of be your reaction? You couldn't talk? You couldn't dial, oh, yeah, I have a 10-foot whatever it is?
You definitely wouldn't be standing there describing this mammoth thing that, oh, by the way, it's not human. It's actually not human. So you're looking at a 12-foot thing in your backyard that you're convinced is an alien. It's not human. It's got big eyes and big mouth, and it's looking at you.
And you're describing
And you're just
it.
describing that fine and dandy. Yeah. Why don't you offer it a coffee? I mean, I don't buy it.
Well, we do have some evidence because at the Senate investigation, we did see some clips of blips.
Something is going on, and I know our audience might get bored with it, but the truth of the matter is, when I said that orb was released by NASA, it was released by NASA. They know it wasn't a balloon. They know it was an orb to release. For what reason? God only knows. And we know the Senate, we know there's a special committee. We saw it, and we were so disappointed because everything had to go into the closed session.
Redacted.
Everything had to go into the closed session.
Yep.
But there's a closed session, Terry. Something that you and I can't hear that they're going to discuss. So there's something happening. There's something out there. You and me, they may know exactly what it is. They're the Freds from the planet Larry. I don't know, They know way more than what we are.
Time to hook up to AI and get all these ideas out of your head. Jim.
So it is absolutely a fact that something is up. Something's going on, and it's got the government's attention, probably governments around the world's attention, but for some strange reason, maybe it's so hideous, we just can't take it.
Our brains would melt.
It's like they look like ants. And they don't look friendly.
Starship Troopers has that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sticking to the evidence and what we do know, and we've got fighter pilot videotapes, forward-looking infrared radar. So stuff is on the scope, stuff is being seen and recorded, and in some cases apprehended by men in black type figures from who knows where, what organization.
You take the famous one with the ship and the triangles. Right away, the naysayers say, oh, no, you see, if you point a camera at this angle, these are the things that the camera's going to show.
Artifacts off lenses.
The Pentagon already said these are real. They're real. So it's not an anomaly in your camera. They are real. Other people don't want it to be real, so they'll immediately go to, if you stop and analyze it, nonsense. Like the guy saying it's just a balloon. Well, it's not a balloon because NASA wouldn't have released it. They would know a balloon. They have just as many scientists as you have, and they would look at that, and they released it. The question is, why did NASA release it?
Mm-hmm. So you're more into the understanding of why governments are doing what they do when they do. Yeah,
and like, are they weaning us in? Are they weaning us into something?
Slowly detoxifying the
phenomenon. Till you get to the point where there's an alien in your backyard that looks like a praying mantis, and you're saying it's fine, it's fun and dandy.
Yeah.
Already we're at the point where I've talked to people, and they're not interested. They're just not interested. What's that got to do with me? And I'm telling you, I promise you, if there was going to be at 5 o'clock today a press conference to announce the existence of aliens, because zillions of people would not tune in.
You've got to go back to the classic sci-fi thriller, black and white, The Day the world or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
earth stood still.
Yeah.
That is a vintage. Lands on what? The
Yeah.
White House, the front lawn?
I think it was a park, but something like that. Yeah.
Even then, would we believe what we saw?
Well, and the whole thing is no, that's just, we already know we're conditioned to say, no, that's just the government's doing that. Well, why?
Where are the strings, Jim?
Why
Where are the strings on
Why
the
are they
Frisbee?
doing it? What like Trudeau lighting fires up north?
Why?
Why would he do that? Of course he's not.
Yeah, one of the best questions.
Yeah,
Why?
Why? So NASA releasing that, why? And getting so little attention. I saw it on CNN.
Yep.
So little attention, and the reason CNN didn't show it more and more, nobody cares.
Ooh, nobody.
Yeah. So just let us stay in the dark until we riot in the streets and say we want to know what you know. Because remember the 900 pages we're not seeing on that document of
That's
9
right.
pages they released. Those 900 pages have been looked at, mullered over, and everything else. So much for special committee studying all this time. They're supposed to be releasing another statement or something coming up. There's something there.
Yeah, final report is
They wouldn't do
supposed to
that if there wasn't something there.
be- Will you wait for it? Will it make any difference in this world of Donald Trump running in 2024?
Terry,
of-
wouldn't you just go on the air and say, there's nothing there, folks, go home? But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They're letting us believe there's something there. Why?
Well, have you heard any Republicans saying Donald Trump didn't take the documents? No, nobody's saying that. They're saying, well,
He had
let's
the right
talk
to.
about
He
it.
had the right to.
He had the right to. I used my Vulcan mind power to declassify that.
I can
Nobody
do that.
knows when I did.
Did you know I could do that?
I can do that. Well, that's it for the Jim and Terry Show for this week. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes coming up.
Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now.